The top stories from Assam, where it was the third day of the massive crackdown on child marriages that began on Friday. Now, although the number of people being arrested has drastically come down, the Chief Minister of Assam has made his mandate clear, though. He aims to make Assam, he says, child marriage free by 2026, the year Assam goes to the next assembly polls. This despite women in rural areas protesting outside police stations. Ratndeep Chaudhary reports.
Massive protests by women outside police stations in Assam's Dhubri and Morigaon districts. Days after the state police started cracking down on child marriages, arresting over 2,000 people across the state and filing 4,000 plus criminal cases. The highest arrests are in the Bishwanath, Dhubri, Barpeta, Kokrajhar and Hojai districts. Protesting women say the arrests have left them helpless with nowhere to go.
কোনো বিয়া দিয়ে কিছু করে নাই, কাজীও না, মলনাও না, মুক্তিও না। বিনা দোষে আমার স্বামীকে নিয়ে আইছে, বিনা দোষে আমার স্বামীকে মাইসেই করে দিছে। ওই জন্য আমাকে আমার স্বামী আমার ছাড়া করে নিয়েছে। আমি এখন বাচ্চা নিয়ে কিভাবে বাড়ি থাকি, কিভাবে চলি?
But Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has said the clampdown against child marriages in the state will continue. This despite opposition leaders slamming the Assam government and calling its actions biased.
देखिए ना कि ये पिछले 6 साल से बीजेपी की सरकार है वहाँ पर, और 6 साल में उन्होंने क्या किया इस बारे में, तो ये इनकी नाकामी है। दूसरा ये है कि आपने कितने स्कूल खोले वो बताइए। तीसरा ये है कि जब आप इन पर एक्शन ले रहे हैं तो जिन लड़कियों का विवाह हो गया, निकाह हो गया या शादी हो गई जिस किसी धर्म के मुताबिक, उन लड़कियों का क्या होगा? और ये जो आसाम में बीजेपी की सरकार है वो मुसलमानों के खिलाफ है, बायस्ड है।
You see, in Assam, child marriage is rampant. So today we have arrested more than 2,000 people for marrying girl below 18 years of age. और ये चलते रहेगा 2026 तक। हम असम से ये चाइल्ड मैरिज कंप्लीटली खत्म कर दूंगा।
In this massive crackdown, Assam police is investigating into over 4,000 FIRs of child marriages, and in this more than 8,000 people have been named as accused. Of them, in the first phase of the crackdown, police is looking for at least 3,500 people. But top police officials have told that many of them have already absconded. In Guwahati, Ratndeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
And now another BJP MLA in West Bengal has switched sides and joined the TMC as the BJP continues to face desertion, as several MLAs have left the party since its defeat in the 2021 assembly elections and hopped over to the ruling TMC. Saurav Gupta joins us. So Saurav, another Sunday, another BJP MLA jumping ship joining the TMC, and this time it sparked off a debate over the anti-defection law. Why is that?
Well, you know, obviously MLAs crossing over without the 2/3 number, which is of course the the critical number in the anti-defection law, means that they could be facing defection, or they could be facing the anti-defection law and lose their membership of the House. That's the law. Now, apart from that, the BJP has been consistently losing MLAs in West Bengal. They are down from their tally of 77. But at this point, really, this debate has been sparked off by the leader of opposition, Shubhendu Adhikari's reaction, who said that a Trinamool flag was not handed over to this MLA who switched sides because they wanted to evade the provisions of the anti-defection law. The Trinamool immediately shot back, reminding Mr. Adhikari that his father, Sisir Adhikari, is the MP from Kanthi on a Trinamool ticket, but is for all practical purposes now leaning towards the BJP. The Trinamool has moved the Lok Sabha Speaker to disqualify him. That hasn't happened yet. The Speaker hasn't acted. So that once Suvendu Adhikari said, "Are you scared of the anti-defection law?" The Trinamool responded with, "Please explain the anti-defection law to your father and your brother, who are MPs on Trinamool tickets." So that is where the debate really is in Bengal. But yes, MLAs have been switching sides. And whereas across the country you see the trend of MLAs moving towards the BJP, in Bengal, over the last few months, especially after the 2021 Assembly elections, the trend has been the opposite.
All right, Saurav Gupta reporting there on the situation in West Bengal, where the Mamata Banerjee-led Trinamool Congress today actually unveiled its manifesto in Agartala. This comes a day before Mamata Banerjee arrives in the northeastern state to kick off her party's campaign, where the party has declared 22 candidates for the upcoming Tripura Assembly polls. The Trinamool Congress manifesto reflects its governance model in West Bengal with a focus on welfare and social upliftment. Several successful schemes in Bengal have been included in the manifesto for Tripura, where the party is contesting on its own this time. And the Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti, or the BRS, the new and national avatar of the Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao's TRS, on Sunday held its first rally outside Telangana in Maharashtra's Nanded. The rally was helmed by Chandrasekhar Rao and marked a new step in the Telangana Chief Minister's national ambitions after a mega rally in Telangana itself last month.
Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who has renamed his party for his national ambitions, starting his journey with the BRS's first rally outside Telangana in Maharashtra's Nanded, which is across the border and has a chunk of Telugu-speaking population. On the national stage, Mr. Rao and his party coined the slogan, "Ab ki baar Kisan Sarkar," a pitch to farmers across India.
हिंदुस्तान में पहली बार किसी पार्टी ने कहा है वो बीआरएस पार्टी है, अब की बार किसान सरकार। जब भी चुनाव आता है ना, चुनाव आने पर क्या हो रहा है, किसी न किसी पार्टी जीतता है, किसी न किसी नेता जीतता है, लेकिन जनता हारता है। अब कुछ उल्टा होना चाहिए। आगे चुनाव जब भी होगा, जनता को जीतना चाहिए, वो किसानों को जीतना चाहिए। हमारे समस्याओं का वही समाधान है। इस देश में सरकार किसने चलाया? 75 साल में ज्यादा से ज्यादा समय, 54 साल, 54 इयर्स कांग्रेस ने हुकूमत की इस देश में। 16 साल नंबर 2 स्थान पे भाजपा हुकूमत किया। अगर कोई कसूरवार है तो ये दो पार्टियां ही है।
The BJP has said KCR's national plans will fizzle out, but the BRS says they are looking at pan-India groups like farmers' bodies, trade unions and civil society groups, where KCR's party may have more traction and present an alternative welfare development and political agenda.
इनका जो है बहुत अच्छा ये है, उधर गवर्नमेंट अच्छा चल रहा है। अपने महाराष्ट्र में आज तक किसी ने गवर्नमेंट ने चावल फ्री नहीं दिया और सस्ता नहीं दिया।
Sources say KCR is also planning a grand meeting in Delhi in the next few weeks as a show of unity among non-BJP, non-Congress parties, and wants to invite Bengal's Mamata Banerjee, Bihar's Nitish Kumar, besides the leaders who have already been on stage with him in the last few months. With Kanhaiya Khandelwal and Uma Sudhir, Usama Shah for NDTV.
And speaking in Maharashtra, the RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat on Sunday said that God created everyone equal and that priests created castes and sex. God has always said that everyone is equal for him and that no caste or sex for him. It was made by priests, which is wrong. That is his quote. The RSS chief's comments come amidst a political storm stirred by a prominent OBC leader, Prasad Maurya in UP, who claimed that certain verses of Ram Charitmanas are an insult a large section of society on the basis of caste and demanded that these be banned. And if you're planning to travel to the United States, we have some good news for you. The US now has new plans to cut your visa wait time. What exactly are these initiatives? Maya Siddiqui reports.
They will have a better intake of consular staff. That is what they had promised, saying that by summer this year, they will have a bigger staff to deal, first of all, with the heightened number of applications that they are receiving. So they are stressing on the point that the number of applications has gone up drastically, and that is why the number of staff that they had was not matching up to that level. Also because a lot of staff during the COVID period was let go off, considering that they were not required. The numbers of applications was not as high. Secondly, for business visas, now they are taking a very new initiative, and that is that people who are applying for a business visa, they could be Indians who want to go to the US, but they can apply and choose some of the embassies abroad for their visas, and this is talking about the first time applicants, those who've already had a visa to the US in the past. Many of them, not all categories, but many categories are also eligible for what is called the drop box application. In that case, because your biometrics are already with the US government, therefore you do not require to go for another biometrics appointment, and therefore a drop box facility for them, for such people, is available. So these are some of the core initiatives, the most important at the moment being that for business visas, which were again being delayed, and the fact that businesses can't wait, people have conferences for that. This new facility that has come through is that they can apply to embassies abroad as well. For instance, if for instance in Thailand, the queue is not very long, they can apply there.
All right, and more international news. For the former Pak president and the former army chief, Pervez Musharraf, died at the age of 79. He was in a self-imposed exile in Dubai, where he was undergoing treatment for a rare illness, but showed no indication of recovery. From taking part in a coup in 1999 to being president for around 7 years in Pakistan, he's lived a life of many controversies, including being seen as an architect of the Kargil war. Meanwhile, the Congress's Shashi Tharoor has tweeted that Pervez Musharraf, the former Pakistani president, dies of a rare disease. Once an implacable foe of India, he became a real force of peace. From 2002 to 2007, I met him annually in those days at the UN. I found him to be smart, engaging and clear in his strategic thinking. Rest in peace.
He was known as the architect of the Kargil war, the man who ordered his soldiers to enter India to cut off Leh from Srinagar. In the war that followed in the summer of 1999, Pakistani soldiers whose presence he denied were decimated in the high mountains of Kargil. It was a catastrophic military failure for Musharraf, who had pushed forward with the plan, keeping his Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif mostly in the dark. Almost unbelievably, 2 years after Kargil, Musharraf emerged stronger than ever.
The main issue of whatever happened at Kargil was the issue of Kashmir, which is in the limelight now, and it has brought to fore one major issue, that Pakistan and India cannot go to war, must not go to war. Therefore disputes need to be resolved, and this is the international concern.
It was as president that Musharraf came to India in July 2001. Would the architect of Kargil change his stripes to bring peace between the nuclear neighbors? Would Atal Bihari Vajpayee's leap of faith, his second after the Lahore summit of January 1999, be successful? An entire generation watched every moment of the summit with a prayer for hope and peace.
I think all of us have been impressed and taken the message that you're a soldier, you've come here, you know what it feels like to fight a war, and that you have a great concern for the people of Kashmir and the will of the people of Kashmir. You condemn the security forces in Kashmir and some of the actions against civilians. What about innocent people at a bus stop and a militant bomb killing them? Your concern for the will of the people of Kashmir is understandable. But you're a soldier and you haven't been elected in Pakistan. So without the will of the people of Pakistan, how are you so concerned about the will of the people of somewhere else?
If you look at any freedom struggle anywhere around the world, its history, there is so much of suffering of innocents. And that is applying in Kashmir also, unfortunately.
Agra was a disastrous failure. The negotiations broke down and collapsed. For many around the world, the true nature of the Pakistani deep state and its link with terror progressively became much more clear.
हम मुजाहिदीन लाए पूरी दुनिया से, हमने तालिबान को ट्रेन किया, उन्हें वेपन्स दिए, उनको अंदर भेजा, वो हमारे हीरो थे.
ठीक है.
ये जो हक्कानी है, हीरो है हमारा जी.
ठीक है.
टीज का हीरो है.
बिल्कुल.
ओसामा बिन लादेन हमारा हीरो था. फ्रंटियर प्रोविंस में.
But the general kept fighting. He declared a state of emergency in 2007. His soldiers entered the Supreme Court of Pakistan, arrested judges were detained, television channels went off air. On the 18th of August 2008, Pervez Musharraf announced his resignation. 5 days later, he left for exile in London.
Running a country means only two things: welfare of the people and development of the state. Period. What didn't I do? Tell me one thing on these two issues. So people got bogged down in peripheral issues which do not really, you have to understand what is the gauge of deciding what is the quality or standard of a leader, how well or how badly somebody has governed. We just pass remarks on one odd incident, whether it is Bukti or Red Mosque or any assassination. These are one issue. You don't judge 8 years' performance on one issue.
But the Musharraf chapter in Pakistan's politics didn't end there. Like so many other leaders, Musharraf too staged a return from exile. He had vowed to do this, his goal to seek the presidency in 2013. When he returned to Pakistan on a chartered Emirates flight in March 2013, he delivered a short public speech at Karachi airport. 2 days later, the general was arrested on charges related to the arrest of judges, which he had ordered when he was president back in 2007. Under house arrest, Musharraf faced a deluge of cases. In December 2019, a special court in Pakistan sentenced General Pervez Musharraf in absentia to death for suspending Pakistan's constitution in 2007. A symbolic order since Dubai doesn't have an extradition treaty with Pakistan. Musharraf challenged the order, and on January 2020, the Lahore High Court annulled the death sentence and held the earlier trial to be unconstitutional. But the general was never to return to Pakistan, with his health progressively weakening. A rare condition, amyloidosis, had caused his organs to malfunction.